I'm Jacqueline Hughes. I'm so excited that you're here today for our fun little flow. It's going to be a short one, only 30 minutes, but that makes it great to do at any point in the day. It blends two of my favorite styles of yoga, a little bit of traditional hot asana practice blended with a little bit of vinyasa. So you're going to feel it at all levels. And what's nice about this one is we're not going to do any chaturangas. So if you have any shoulder or wrist issues, you're going to find that this is really gentle on your upper body. But even if you're a little bit advanced, you'll have plenty of layers to explore to keep your practice going. My dear friend Catherine is here joining us, and she'll be doing the asana practice as I lead her through the verbal cues. So if you have any questions, you can always take a peek at her and see where her body alignment is, but also pay attention to the words that I'm saying, because I'll be giving you auditory clues as to how to get into the asana practice and feel it out in your body. If at any time you need to just come to your mat and take a break, listen to your body first and foremost. I'm excited to explore this practice with you, so let's get started. So let's begin on your mats. We're going to come into child's pose. So your knees are open wide. You sit back with your weight on your heels and your arms are stretched out in front of you. So Catherine's going to do a nice demonstration for you here, but feel this out in your body. Just kind of let your hips sit back and then start to extend through the crown of your head, energy through your fingertips. Maybe you just rock your forehead side to side on the mat, massaging your third eye center. Start to draw in some deep breaths here. In through your nose, and then release it out through your nose. So you start to feel this texture of breath on the back of your throat. Release your tongue away from the roof of your mouth so that you just start to smooth your breath out. Send breath to the areas of your body that might be tight, holding on, especially in your hips. On your next inhale, come up into a tabletop position and just start to move your body, maybe taking some circles with your hips. Maybe just rocking the weight side to side, whatever feels good. We're just starting to work into the spine, warming things up in all different directions. Come back to center, and on your next inhale, take a cow pose. So lift your gaze up, drop your belly, finding this nice arcing sensation of your spine, pressing your chest forward. Exhale, cat. Round out, push your shoulder blades apart, and really find this nice broadening across your shoulders. Inhale for cow. Exhale for cat. Once more, take a big inhale, lift your chest, lift your gaze, start to really feel your chest press forward. And then on your next exhale, tuck your toes and find downward facing dog. So down dog is one of the postures that we use a lot in the transitions of this practice. This is our first one, so just take a moment and walk it out right and left, pulling your hips back, and really rooting down through the palms of your hands. So between your thumb and your index fingers is where you want to feel the bulk of your weight, pressing forward as you push back through your heels. So walk your legs out here, maybe bend your right knee and your left. Keep steadying that slow, nice, smooth breath. Feel it on the back of your throat. We call that ujjayi breath. It's a nice breath that will carry you throughout practice. You want it to stay long and smooth. Nice. On your next inhale, begin to gaze forward and start to walk your feet up to your hands. Spread them about shoulder width distance and then just hang in what we call a ragdoll pose. So grab for opposite elbows, your head hangs like a little coconut, gaze toward your shins and just kind of rock side to side. Find that nice sway. This warms up your lower back and just feels good across the whole back line of your body. Good. Then release your hands, find a halfway lift on your inhale, and then exhale, fold all the way down. On this next inhale, heel toe your feet to touch, and vertebrae by vertebrae, stack your spine, unwinding, all the way up to standing. Nice. Take a big shoulder roll here, in, up, and around, exhale, down. Close your eyes. And just breathe in for a moment. Find that ujjayi breath in the upright position. Hold at the top of your inhale. And then slowly begin to exhale out through your nose. Again, take another big inhale. Hold at the top. And then slowly begin to exhale. From here, keep this nice steady breath flowing. Draw in an intention, maybe something you'd like to focus on throughout your practice. For myself, it can be anything from just staying present in the moment, breath awareness, not judging or just letting go of anything that exists off your mat so that you can focus on only what's going on within the four corners of your mat right here, right now. So breathe whatever that is in, and exhale out anything standing in your way from coming to that place. Good. Blink your eyes to open. We begin with a little flow to warm up the spine in all directions. Inhale to Tadasana, mountain pose. Your arms extend high overhead. Rotate your pinkies in toward one another and start to pull your shoulder blades down away from your ears so they're not hugging. Inhale, find one more bit of length through your spine. Reach high. Exhale, slight back bend. Cactus your arms, lift your chest up, and press your hips forward as you roll the weight into your heels. Inhale, mountain pose. Come back to Tadasana. Re-extend, lengthen through the crown of your head. Exhale, forward fold. Your hands melt through heart center as you hinge at your hips and come all the way down. Release your hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Press your chest forward. Extend the crown of your head. Your hands can come to your shins if you need. Sometimes you'll find a little bit extra extension by doing so. Exhale, squat and curl. Come high to your tippy toes, lift your heels, and you're rounding your forehead to your knees, your chin to your chest, pushing the earth away with your fingertips. So you're finding this nice arcing sensation in your belly, and you're rounding your spine so you feel your shoulder blades spread. Keep your breath flowing here even though your chin is compressed. And then release your heels. Rise slowly and with purpose back up to mountain pose. Extend your arms high overhead. Now we link breath to movement as you begin to flow. Slight back bend. Exhale, lift your chest. Inhale to rise, Tadasana. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, squat and curl. We call it Squattanasana. So on this one, take a little bit more time to really feel that spread. You should feel a little bit warmer already on the second way through, feeling your back start to engage and warm up. On your next inhale, plant your heels, rise, Tadasana, mountain pose. On this one, interlace your fingers overhead, release your index fingers for steeple mudra. Now inhale, reach high. Exhale, hot style half moon. We're gonna reach to the right with your arms as you press your hips to the left. So here, you're working to open your side body. You're staying rooted into the knife edge of your left foot, and you're finding this amazing spinal stretch. So be certain that you're not collapsing into your right side body. You're just finding a little bit more length. Inhale to rise. Re-engage your grip so that your palms are to touch, your biceps are squeezing alongside your ears. Find another big inhale. And then exhale over to the left, press your hips to the right. Take just a few breath cycles here. With each inhale, find a little bit more length. And with each exhale, you can deepen by coming further over to the left, pressing your hips to the right. Inhale to rise. Separate your hands from one another. You can always bring them to your low back or keep them overhead. Start to trace your gaze along the ceiling as you come into a deeper back bend. So lift your heart to the sky, your neck stays nice and long, hips press forward, reach up and back, and rise back to Tadasana. Hands at heart center, forward fold as you exhale. Come all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift, crown extends. Exhale, Squattanasana, your last one. So feel free to play with your balance here, maybe grabbing for opposite elbows. Lift high onto your tippy toes. Your spine should feel much more open on this third set. Allow your forehead to kiss your knees and just to feel like you're hugging everything in as your shoulder blades spread. Release your palms, release your heels. Inhale to rise. Come all the way back up to Tadasana, mountain pose. Interlace your fingers high overhead, release your index fingers. We move into our second set of hot half moon, and we hold this side just a little bit longer. So inhale, lift up. Exhale, reach to the right. So this time you can work on moving just a little bit deeper in through the spine, opening through your intercostals, nudging your hips into alignment. So if you feel like one hip has rotated far back, you want to pull it forward and then shine your heart up to the corner of the room. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, move right into the left-hand side. Upper body to the left, your hips to the right. So stay rooted through the knife edge of the outer foot. You want to also keep gripping your hands together and hugging your biceps in alongside your ears, but moving seamlessly with your breath. Keep it flowing. Inhale back to center. You have the option to drop your hands here or keep them in steeple mudra. Begin to lift up on your inhale. Shift your gaze up. Push your hips forward. Reach up. Reach back. Keep finding that beautiful stretch along the whole front line of your body as your heart lifts forward and up. And inhale to rise. Keep your hands in steeple mudra. If you released them to your low back, bring them back high overhead. Engage your grip, and with a flat back, hinge forward at your hips. Come all the way down till your fingertips graze the earth and release them down. Then from here, just take some big knee bends, right, left, just walk it out. Maybe bounce all the way down and come all the way up, getting the synovial fluid moving through your joints. Nice. And then you're gonna take your knees, bend them a lot, sandwich your belly along your thighs, and wrap your arms back around your heels. So stepping on all 10 fingers from behind. Now, if this isn't accessible to you, if you're too tight across your shoulder blades, that's fine. Grab the outer edges of your feet instead. One day, you'll be able to swoop your arms back around your heels and your elbows will actually kiss behind your calves. But until that time, just keep your belly along your thighs, begin to pull on your heels, and bring your forehead down toward your shins. So we're working hard to shift the inner thighs back and rotate your sits bones up. So if you roll the weight forward into the ball mounds of your feet, you'll feel an amazing stretch across the back of your legs. Continue to roll that weight forward into the ball mounds of your feet and pull on your heels at the same time to feel that big stretch. Keep breathing, and then mindfully release your hands from your heels. Reinterlace them back out in front of you in steeple mudra. And with a flat back, engage your core and come up, rising on your inhale all the way to Tadasana. Exhale your hands to your sides. Now travel to the front of your mat, little moving meditation. We want to move into a Sun A flow. So we've warmed up the spine in all directions. We're going to start to move our heart rates, get ourselves moving a little bit more. Inhale to Tadasana, mountain pose. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your palms, step back to high plank. So this is our first time taking high plank. So what you're looking for is one solid line of energy. Drop your hips a little bit more. Press the weight back through your heels. Rotate your shoulders so that you're not arcing so much through your spine, but that there's one solid line of energy from your crown of your head all the way to your heels. So drop your hips just a little bit more, Catherine. There we go. So from plank, you want to come into a down dog. Exhale, down dog. Nice. So from your down dog, just take a inhale. Again, breathe in and exhale. On your next inhale, you're going to lift your right leg high. So lifting it up, you're going to exhale, step it through to a low lunge. Your foot, you want to peek down and make sure that your knee is stacked just above your ankle. Your toes are visible in front of you. Inhale to warrior two. She's going to spiral up. The knife edge of your back foot goes down. And if you peek down, you should still see your toes peeking out from beyond your knee. Your front foot needs to intersect your back, so there should be a nice perpendicular angle there. Gaze over your front fingertips and sink low. With each exhale, you want to sit lower into your lunge. It's always nice to hold your warrior two just for a moment to feel this in your body before we start to move through a flow. On your next inhale, rotate your palms to face the front. Inhale, lengthen forward. Exhale, hot style triangle. You're going to bring your left arm up, your right arm to the inner part of your right knee. So you're creating a triangle shape with your right side body and your right thigh. Sending your gaze up to your left fingertips. Release your shoulder blade down away from your ear and stay low in your lunge. Take another breath here. And then exhale completely. On your next inhale, reverse your warrior. Send your right arm up and back. Send your gaze to your right fingertips. Continue to sink low in your lunge. And with each inhale, pull in more breath so you feel your lungs begin to expand. You're building resistance. One more big breath in. Exhale, warrior two. On this next inhale, star pose, facing forward. Your toes are in, your heels are out, your arms are up. Shine your heart to the sky. Exhale, horse pose. Your hands melt through heart center. Sink low into a straddle position. And just rock side to side. Start swaying into your hips. Nice. Release your hands to your inner thighs. You're going to lengthen forward. And then on an exhale, you're going to twist your right shoulder down, finding a nice spinal twist. Wring out your spine. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist. Inhale, center. Exhale, ring it out. Once more, come back center. And one more big twist, roll it out. Good. Inhale, back to horse. And star pose, reaching up, expand your arms wide. Hands drop into prasarita, so arms at shoulder height. You want to pigeon toe your toes in, heels out. Engage your core. Inhale, look up. Exhale with a flat back. Begin to lead with your heart. Come all the way down. Nice. Reach for the outer edges of your feet, or you can wrap your hands behind, grasping for behind the heels, just like we did in that deep forward fold at the beginning of class. It helps to rotate forward into the ball mounds of your feet and open up the back line of your legs by feeling like your inner thighs are shifting back. So you can continue to pull on your heels, and you're going to find more length in your spine, especially if you gaze just a bit forward in your mat so that you're not rounding, you're actually lengthening. Now, if you're really tight in your hips, widen your stance as much as you need. If you're really flexible, narrow your stance a little bit, and you'll feel a little bit more stretch in the back line of your body. Nice. On your next inhale, bring your arms back out to the sides. Engage your core and rise all the way up into standing. Now bring your arms high overhead into prayer, crossing at your thumbs. Take a little bend in your left knee and then step your back foot in, just a little step. Nice. Hinge on your heels, pivot on your heels to face the front of your mat. And then nudge your left hip forward once, twice, just giving it a little zhuzh so that it feels like it's in alignment with the right. And then inhale, reach up, send your gaze high, lift your chest high. And on your exhale, round down, chin to your chest, vertebrae by vertebrae, till your forehead meets your knee for separate leg stretching, standing forehead to knee. So release your hands on either side of your foot if you need the extra help with balance. If you'd like to keep them in prayer, that's fine too. That's a little bit more challenging. But bend your knee a lot. So this differs from a traditional vinyasa style triangle pose because you want to actually round, or pyramid pose, because you want to actually round down and complete that forehead to knee compression. So bend your knee, allow your forehead to press your knee back, and then nudge your left hip forward. Nice. Bring your hands back out into prayer in front of you. Engage your core, and then vertebrae by vertebrae, roll up. Nice and controlled into a standing. Once you're at the top, release your hands down behind your back, interlace your fingers. You're going to press down through your knuckles, lift your chest high, send your gaze high, and on your exhale, come forward into your right leg for toppling tree. So you're going to shift all the weight forward into your right leg. Your left leg begins to come off the mat. Now you're going to play a little bit with balance here, but you're going to keep sending your heart forward as your heel lifts. Teeter-totter effect. Keep letting your heart down and your leg lift until you release into standing splits. Come all the way forward and release your hands down to your mat. Your hands will be just out in front of your foot. You can also choose to challenge your balance a little bit more by walking your hands back in line with your toes, or even bringing one or both hands to your calf to work on a little bit more balance there. Wherever you find yourself today, take one more big breath. Lift your heel up. Exhale, step it back, low lunge. Nice. On your next inhale, right heel lifts. Exhale, down dog. Moving just into the other side, left heel lifts on an inhale. Exhale, step it through, low lunge. Inhale, warrior two. Spiral to open. And then stay in warrior two as you exhale, sink low. So now you're getting a different angle to see from the back. As you sink lower, your hips begin to spread. You've still got that perpendicular angle where the front foot intersects the back, and you do want to peek down and make sure that you can still see your toes. Take another big breath here. Inhale, lengthen forward, reach forward. Exhale, rotate your palms and come into hot style trikonasana. So staying nice and lifted. This is different than a typical vinyasa side angle pose, because in side angle, you're going all the way down. In hot style trikonasana, you're staying lifted, nice. Keeping that triangle position. Keep sending the gaze high. On your next exhale, get completely empty. And then reverse your warrior. Send the left arm up and back, reaching up toward the sky. So you'll see a nice opening in your side body, but you stay low in your lunge, like somebody's actually sitting on your leg. You want me to sit on your leg, Catherine? No, no, I won't sit on her leg. But sink low into your lunge. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, star pose, burst up. Exhale into horse, sit low. Once more, burst up into star. Pigeon toe your toes in, arms out to your sides. Hinge at your hips for a forward fold. Now Catherine's going to be able to peek at you from the other side. Now here you have the option to play around. If you have a little bit more of an advanced practice, this would be a beautiful place for you to take a tripod headstand. If that seems way out of the realm of possibilities at this point, don't worry, we'll walk you through that in a later video. But for today, just play with opening your hamstrings and getting a little bit deeper into this asana as you pull on your heels. Maybe even taking a chest expansion if you want to grab for your hands behind your back. Wherever you are, just breathe into it, steady your breath, and then release your hands, bring them back out to the sides, engage your core, and with a flat back, come all the way up into standing. Nice. Bring your arms high overhead, cross them into prayer. Whatever thumb was on top the last time, switch it, and then bring your back foot in just a nudge. Pivot on your heels to face the front of your mat. Now zhuzh that other hip forward once, twice, give it a little love. Inhale, reach up, look up. Exhale, chin to your chest, round down, vertebrae by vertebrae, until your fingertips release to your mat. So again, bringing your hand to opposite sides of your foot, or you can keep it in prayer out in front of you. That's a little bit more challenging for your balance. Just depends on where you're feeling it today. Here you're compressing your throat, and you're also got that forehead to knee compression. So make sure you're paying special attention to your breath. Keep it flowing, breathing in through your nose and out through your nose so that they stay nice and long and smooth. Bring your hands back out into prayer in front of you, and vertebrae by vertebrae begin to roll up into standing. Release your hands down behind your back, finding that chest expansion. Press down through your knuckles, lift your chest, breathe in, and then send your weight forward into your left foot as your right leg lifts for toppling tree. So again, finding that teeter-totter effect. As you throw your heart forward, your heel lifts, you begin to press up through your knuckles, and you wobble, you go, you come right back in. That's part of the practice. Ground down through your foot, keep sending it down, and then release into standing splits. Nice. So whatever variation you did on the opposite side, maybe play with something a little bit more on this side, walking your hands back in line, bringing one or both hands to your calf. Can you bring one or both hands, Catherine? Just play. A little bit more challenging, but there's layers, right? There's layers to everything. You can start basic and then work your way up. Bring your hands back down to the mat if you brought them up. Take one more big inhale, heel lifts. Exhale, step back, low lunge. Inhale, left leg sweeps high. Exhale, down dog. Good. Take one big breath in here. And release it, let go. Good. Now we're going to link breath to movement. We've set everything up. You're ready to go. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, low lunge. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, hot triangle. Inhale, reverse, pull back. Exhale, low lunge. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, left leg goes high. Exhale, step it through, low lunge. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, hot triangle. Inhale, reverse, pull it back, reach back, fill your lungs. Exhale, low lunge. So again, unlike vinyasa, we are changing up, no chaturanga here. So inhale, left heel goes high. Exhale, down dog. Good. Again, we flow. Inhale, right leg up. Exhale, step it through, low lunge. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, hot triangle. Inhale, reverse. Now listen, we're changing up. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, star pose, burst up. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse, pull it back. Exhale, low lunge. Exhale, down dog. Left side, leg lifts. Exhale, step it through. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, hot triangle. Inhale, reverse, pull it back, reach back. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, burst up, star pose. Exhale, warrior two, cut it open. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, low lunge. Inhale, left leg goes high. Exhale, down dog. Take a big breath in here. Big breath out. Again, take another one in. Exhale completely. Then look forward and either step or jump, just travel to the front of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, squat and curl, coming back into that big dome. It should feel much warmer, much more open. And then come to seated on your mat. So we're gonna do just a little bit of core firing because we are gonna practice one little inversion before we move on to the last series. So from here, coming into Navasana boat pose, you can choose to keep yourself in this position, straighten your legs if you want a little bit more challenge, or if you need to modify, you can bring your feet all the way down to your mat. So from here, you're gonna bring your hands to heart center. On an exhale, dip your right elbow down to touch the mat. Inhale, come back to center, reach high. Exhale, dip it down to the left, working into your obliques. Inhale, reach high. Again, to the right, come high, and left, go high. So pace yourself, move in and out of this, and again, take whichever variation with your legs you feel most ready to do, whether that's keeping them onto the mat or lifting them straight. Just keep setting a pace with your breath. If you feel like your breath's starting to get choppy, smooth it out, maybe move more slowly and with more intention. Just a few more here for 4. Lift them up for 3. And once more, 2 and 1. Release down onto your mat. Find a long body stretch. Come all the way down, your arms high over your head. Now from here, we're gonna do a double exhale sit-up. You might notice this if you've taken any type of hot style classes before, but Catherine's gonna demonstrate it for you by flexing her toes, bringing your feet to touch. Your legs stay long on the mat. Your arms reach high overhead. On your first exhale, you're gonna come up and reach, and on your second exhale, you're gonna come forward and reach to the toes. So first exhale is shh, shh, and up, and toe, and release slowly down, vertebrae by vertebrae. And second exhale, up, shh, shh, and slowly down. Control your low back presses in, up, and slowly release it back. You might travel a little bit, that's fine. Exhale, shh, shh, and slowly come on back. So from here, just give yourself a full long body stretch, shake your legs out a little, and then hug your knees in toward your chest and rock and roll the length of your spine. You're going to rock and roll all the way up, crossing at your ankles, and come into a high plank position. So step your feet back, drop your hips a little bit, come into that nice solid line of energy like we did in high plank to start. You're gonna rotate the weight into your right hand and lift your left arm high as you shift the weight into your right knife edge of your right foot for side plank. We call this Vashisthasana side plank. So send your gaze to your left fingertips, really rooted down. Here you have the option to drop your right knee to modify, or to challenge yourself a little bit more, you can bring your left leg up. I'm gonna ask Catherine to thread her needle just twice. Bring the left arm underneath and then reach up. There you go. And bring it back under and reach up. Take up space, get big, get big, get big. And high plank is your release. So again, modify by dropping to your knee if you need. Shift the weight into your left hand. Right leg comes high for Vashisthasana on the other side. So you're rotating the weight onto the knife edge of your left foot. Right arm goes up. So from here, take whatever variation you need, whether you want to lift your leg or not, but thread the needle twice, bringing it under and reach up. Bring it under and reach up and get big. Now take up more space, lift your top leg if you can, breathe in, and high plank is your release. Good. Exhale to downward facing dog. You did it. The core is the hardest part, right? But we've got it all fired up and ready to go. We're going to take just a few deep breaths here, slow and steady. So big breath in, big exhale out. Again, breathe in, breathe out. Nice. Good. So from here, walk your hands back to your feet. Separate your feet the distance of your mat. Heels are in, toes are out. Malasana frog pose. You're gonna sit down in between your heels, hands to your heart. Now here you have the option to use a block out in front of you. If you want, grab one. If you want, you could always use this to aim your forehead at. We're gonna just work into a very basic inversion. You might be like, oh my gosh, inversions, this is that way out of my scope. Just practice with bringing the breath and the weight into your belly, like you're gonna find this lifting sensation through your core. So if coming all the way into your hands is not for you today, that's fine. I just wanna introduce the concept so that you start to play around with things that are a little bit outside of your comfort zone so we keep this fun. So Catherine's gonna place her hands wide to the mat. Fingers spread wide. Walk your toes back behind your wrists. So you're gonna bring your knees as high into your triceps, preferably into your armpits as you can. And you're gonna find this little lifting sensation, like when you have the hiccups. It's called Kapalabhati breathing, when you breathe from your diaphragm. She's gonna find that lifting sensation in her core. As she begins to lift from her pelvis and her core, she's gonna shift the little bit of the weight into her forearms. Nice. So a little bit of weight in the arms, but most of it is being pulled up by your core. Then step back and release. So just play with bringing one foot up and maybe the other. Just play with this concept, and if you need, you can always bring the block to right where your forehead would meet, and that way you don't have as far to go if you tumble. But the benefit of doing this at home is that nobody's there to see you if you fall. Just roll right out of it. Just play with bringing one and both up. Good. And then release back down. Good. So from here, start to walk yourself forward into a high plank pose. High plank, exhale back to down dog. Just a little recovery here. Take a big breath in and a big breath out. Nice. On your next inhale, right leg lifts high. Exhale, bring it through to half pigeon. So parallel your shin to the front edge of your mat. Walk your hands back toward your hips. And start to peek behind you. Make sure your back leg is nice and long behind you. Now, if this does not feel good in your knee or your leg, my legs don't move that way, use a block. You can always prop it up underneath your hip on the side that is bent. And if that still doesn't help relieve the pressure, come down onto your back and take a figure 4 position with your legs. Just lay on your back, grabbing one knee in toward your body. If you find you're in this position and you're ready to move forward, walk your hands back in line with your hips, shine your heart up, and then begin to surrender forward as you exhale into sleeping pigeon. This is a big opening through your hips, and for a lot of people, that's a very tight and congested area. So you just want to take a little bit of time here, steady your breath. Notice if you're getting choppy, start to smooth it out. Send your breath specifically to the area of your body where it needs it. You'll feel that you'll start to open little by little. Catherine's pretty open, but I can tell you when I'm in this asana, you can see my body start to relax as I start to breathe because I don't normally go this low. So be mindful that you may start out someplace and evolve over time, but that it's all about the journey, and each day it will change from day to day. This is part of our surrendering series. We're starting to slow things down. We're going to continue to move, but this is an important part of your practice. Good. Walk your hands back in line with your hips. Tuck your back toes and send your right leg high into a 3-legged dog. So here you're releasing that tourniquet effect to your right hip. So scorpion your dog, take some big circles with your hip, whatever feels good. You're just gonna get the flow going back into your hip space. Nice. Exhale, down dog is your release. So moving into the opposite side. Anything we do on the right, we do on the left. Inhale, left leg goes up. Exhale, half pigeon. Bring the shin parallel to the front edge of the mat. So you're creating a figure 7 with your legs. Take a peek at your back leg. Make sure that it's nice and long out behind you. The top of your foot is rooted into the earth. Good. Chest lifts on an inhale, and then on an exhale, start to surrender your heart forward into sleeping pigeon. Good. Stretch your arms out in front of you and just begin to settle in here. You might even want to rock your forehead side to side a little bit, massaging your third eye center. Just breathe. This is a time to get quiet, so be mindful if your to-do list starts to creeping into your thoughts here. If you're starting to allow your mind to wander, this is where you really want to come back to that intention you set at the beginning of class. This is still your time. Take every ounce of it for yourself. Bring your hands back in line with your hips. Tuck your back toes under and send your left leg high into the air. Scorpion your dog, take some circles, whatever you feel your body needs to release that compression that you just created on that side. Nice. Exhale, down dog is your release. Good. Look forward and start to walk yourself to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, squat and curl. Round out. This should feel so much different than it did at the beginning. You're nice and open through your spine. Come to seated on your mat. Walk your legs out in front of you nice and long. Bend your knees a little bit and then flex your toes. You're gonna bring your arms high overhead, and as you exhale forward, you're gonna keep your spine nice and long, leading with your chest. So your belly comes to your thighs. Grab your big toes with your peace fingers. So you wanna pull your chest forward, your gaze stays lifted, hug your elbows along your knees, and then use your heels to press forward as you continue to lengthen your legs. Good. So you're continuing to find that big stretch along the back line of your body, and eventually you're gonna surrender your forehead down toward your knees. But it gets you into it a little bit different way than just putting your legs out in front of you and reaching for your toes. Because if you're watching, Catherine pushed her chest forward and then surrendered down. So it changes the whole dynamic of the stretch to include so much more. Good. Then release your toes, come back up into a seated position, and then with your arms out to your side, walk yourself down long onto your mat. Good. From here, bring your right knee in toward your armpit, toward your shoulder, interlacing all 10 fingers to the webbing just below your knee. Keep your left foot nice and activated and pressing down into the mat. You're wringing out and detoxifying the whole right side of the body. So hug it in all the way from the roof of your mouth. Breathe into this detoxification and wringing out. Then bring your right knee across your body for supine twist. Extend your right arm long. You're going to gaze over your right fingertips. Keep both shoulders pressing down into the mat and wringing out your core. So little by little, you'll just start to deepen this asana. You might find that you're already snap, crackle, and popping. I know I do through my low back. Can you feel it? Feels so good. This is a great stretch for your lower spine. And now that it's all warm, just gonna breathe into it a little bit more. Good. Come back to center. Hug both knees in. And then extend your right leg long, bringing your left knee in to your shoulder, avoiding the rib cage area. You kind of want to bring it out and around your body, interlacing all 10 fingers to the webbing. Hug it in toward your shoulder, flexing your foot. Keep it there for a moment, just kind of breathing it in. And then exhale, bring it into a supine twist, crossing your body. Extend your left arm long. Gaze over your left fingertips, but then just close your eyes and allow yourself to surrender here. So just wringing out your core. You can even bring your own hand. I'm not there to adjust you physically, but if you bring your own hand to the outer part of your left thigh and just kind of gently massage it over, you feel a little bit deeper stretch across the back line of your body. It just deepens it just ever so much, a little bit more. Come back to center. Hug both knees in toward your chest. Grab for opposite elbows. Give yourself a big squeeze here. And lengthen your body nice and long onto your mat. Coming into just the final little bit here, bring your legs straight up like you're standing on the ceiling. Then you're gonna bring your toes over your head into Halasana, plow pose. So use your hands to support your low back if you need. If not, you can always bring them down to your mat or take a chest expansion. If your toes don't reach the mat like Catherine's, it's okay. Some days my toes don't either. What you need to realize then is that your neck still just needs a little bit of love. So if they're lifted, just take some deep breaths here. And that may seem a little bit more challenging due to the compression, but target the back of your neck, target the back line of your body as you breathe. Then lift into a shoulder stand. Bring your toes up so that your hips stack directly above your shoulders. Push through your low back using your hands as a support. Lift up, out and up. And then release into Karna Padasana. We call it deaf man's pose or ear pinning pose. So bend your knees down. Kiss your knees to your forehead, then separate them to the sides of your head. Feel a big opening across your back. And slowly begin to release into happy baby. So coming all the way down vertebrae by vertebrae. You can grab for the outer edges of your feet from the outside, or sometimes I like to curve my hands in and grab from the outside. Just depends on what feels good to you. But rock side to side. Just massage your spine a little bit here. Nice. And then once you're done, release your legs long onto your mat. And come into your final Savasana. From here, you want to steady your breath. Start to draw some deep inhales in through your nose. And then exhale out through your nose. I want to challenge you as you inhale. Maybe hold on the top. And then exhale it completely out. Again, breathe in. Hold at the top. Exhale out. Once more, breathe in. Hold. And exhale to release. You have the option to just keep going with your Savasana here if you have the time to spare. If not, begin to draw your awareness just back into your body little by little, wiggling your fingers and your toes. If you do decide to stay in your Savasana, play with just deepening your breath, staying in this moment. You created this space in your body and on your mat with your practice. I encourage you to take as much of it as you can and start to live it off your mat as well. It's been my pleasure and honor to guide you. The light in me honors and appreciates the exact same in each and every one of you. Namaste.